Welcome, dear Dharma brothers and sisters, to our Thursday evening question and answer on the path to awakening with our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin, so graciously giving us Dharma wisdom and answering our questions this evening. We will begin this evening in our Yellow Garchen Institute prayer book on page 1. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhichitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhichitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhichitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhichitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhichitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhichitta and practice for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness in the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering in the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness in the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering in the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness in the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering in the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. An infinite array of worlds, each with 4 continents and the wealth of an infinite oceans of realms. If I bring them all to mind and offer them without exception, please hold with compassion all the beings they contain. My body, enjoyments, and whatever I own, my aggregates, elements, and sense sources, my aspirations now and in times to come, as well as everything I grasp as mine, by offering them all may I be blessed with the end of self-grasping. completely liberated from the bounds of real and unreal, transcending the names and concepts of arising, cessation, and abiding, coming and going, affirmation and denial. The supreme mandala is the natural state. By offering it, may I be blessed to attain the state of Buddhahood. Om Guru Deva Dakini Ratna Mandala Pratishta Swaha. Namo. To the Guru, the utter purity of all appearance and existence, I offer all appearance and existence arisen as the primordial ground. I supplicate you, may the three realms be completely liberated. Please grant blessings to empty samsara from its depths. Lord, with 5 omniscient wisdoms, crown ornament, kind one with loving nature, precious protector of beings, heart of all Buddhas, inexpressible by words or thought, I supplicate you from the core of my mind. Bless me from within the state of Dharmata. Bless me to realize this mind, primordially pure and unborn as the unfathomable Dharmakaya. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the greater and lesser vehicles in the teachings common to both, according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings.
Tashdele. Anyone can hear me, right? Here still have there. I can see here. Oh, hello, Tashdele. Tashdele, dear Dharma friends, and very nice to see you all. I would like to ask you this question. I'm not sure how much you have the interest in this question, but I think by the way of question, if you remember Tara at that moment for a little bit, I think this is your this is also great, but it has great merit. So my question is, if you had any of Tara's powers, what would you do first? So, Jay, can you answer me first?
Well, the answer would be yes, I can answer you. So if I had Tara's powers, what would I do first? I would. Well, first I'd observe. I would just get my bearings. Figure out, you know, and there'd be a knowing what to do. So first would be just to to kind of get my bearings, and because it'd be a shift from this to a different state of a different type of being.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would know. I do know there definitely would be action.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be sitting on a mountaintop or whatever. There would be a sense of connections, and just, you asked me, so I'm going to tell you. So at first, I think that it would be like a flood of connections, which would be, that's why it'd have to be kind of like, whoa, just, and then from there'd be the ability to a knowing on what to do.
Thank you very much. Okay. How about Lisa?
Hi, Lydia. Lydia.
Lydia, yes.
Okay. If I have Tara's power, I will purify everybody's karma and give everybody long life.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And can you show your names? Because oh, thank you. Yes, yes.
Khenpo, yeah, if I can just mention something, I just have to step out for a minute, so I'm just going to mention something.
Oh.
My answer is going to be, we already have all the powers of Tara. We just haven't realized it yet. So what I would do is wake up and realize this. So that would be my answer.
Oh, thank you very much. You are right. That's very true. We already have all Yidam deities' power, even though we are them, but we have to realize that absolutely right. Absolutely correct. Okay. Eleanor? Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, I just got here because I was at another class and I didn't hear the question.
Oh, my question is, if you had any of Tara's powers, what would you do first?
I think I would thank her for allowing me to use them.
Say again.
I said, I don't know. I said, I think I would thank her for allowing me to use them.
Thank you to Tara, right?
Yes.
Yes, and then what you do first? What would you do first?
I'd use them for healing,
Mm-hmm.
I come from a medical background, so that's been my focus.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my first.
Yes, very good. Actually, I bring this question because we are practicing Dharma for achieving Buddha, right? So that's why to achieve Buddha for the sake of Mother Sentient beings, that's where if we have some plan now, I think it helpful. But of course, you all have that. Okay, and next. Yeah, sometimes the name I can. Yes. Anyone voluntarily? Yes. Lisa?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So I don't actually have any words for what arose when you asked the question. But it was just a feeling of my heart just exploding into like a million pieces to reach out for sentient beings.
Oh,
Just reaching out and liberating beings.
oh, liberating beings, right? You use
Yes, my
oh.
heart opening to liberate beings.
Absolutely. Thank you. Um, how to pronounce Sonia?
Yes. Thank you.
You're
Khenpo.
welcome.
I don't know if Tara has the power or any other G-Dam has the power to liberate us, because I think we are the only responsible to do that. But since she's very active and very strong and very, she moves really fast to help us, I think I would protect everybody from obstructions in their way, in their path, and put opportunities in front of them and try to instill strength to follow the path. That's what I would try to do. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Holly?
You calling my name?
Yes. It's Holly, right?
If I had the power, I would like to cure COVID-19 disease, and I would like to see everybody being healed from that.
Oh, thank you very much. I can see where are you? Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I got. Yeah, that's really necessary. And how about Holly?
Sure.
Holly.
So it's such a difficult question because there's so much suffering everywhere around the world. And I think how do you rank one type of suffering against another type of suffering, and who do you help first? How do you prioritize? And I think that you just have to start with what's closest to you, and it's sort of in your own community. And I think for me, I maybe would start with those members of my own community who are homeless or don't have enough to eat, or don't don't have food to eat, are hungry.
Oh, thank you very much. How about Goli?
Hi, Pakola. I would emanate in billions and trillions, like uncountable numbers of forms, and pacify as much suffering as possible.
Oh, thank you. Yes, absolutely. And then next, Lefisha.
Oh, good morning, Ephesia. Yeah. I think I would just give everybody the realization that they can liberate themselves and they actually have the power to do that. And then show them the way as much as I possibly can. In terms of these are the practices, the karma that you have is your creation and you can purify it and you can change where you are and what you're doing. And this is the way out of samsara. And then have them practice bodhichitta and support as many beings as they possibly can. So we're all out of samsara together.
Oh, thank you very much. Next, Rosabelle. Okay.
Hello, Khenpo, can you hear me?
Oh yes, I hear you. Did you hear
Okay,
my
hi.
question?
Yes, I heard your question. Yes.
Thank
As Holly said, it's difficult to rank. So I think if I had the power, I would just let all sentient beings feel. I would touch their heart and let them feel their loving kindness and their loving goodness that is in every one of us, and especially those who are not in touch with this part of them, to let them feel it. And those who need wisdom, I would let them feel their wisdom and their strength, so that anybody could have the courage, strength, and kindness and wisdom to do their best they can in this life according to their dispositions and capacities, to do the best for those next to them, and so that the wave can become bigger and bigger, and so that the world gets better automatically, sort of something like that.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Khenpo.
So welcome. How about,
Well, if it's allowed, I would just liberate all beings. That's an easy one. Or if not, liberate them from their afflictions and negative karma. But liberate as much as I can.
Oh yes, that's true. Thank you. How about Bailey?
I think the first thing that I would do would be to look upon all beings with immeasurable love.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, and thank you for give me answers. Then for me, I think it's same actually. I would like to benefit to all mother sentient beings. If it is possible, I would like to transform this samsara into nirvana, the power of Tara. If it is not possible, I mean, actually, individually it is possible, right? But in the common karma, the individual karma and common karma is different. Karma are different. For that reasons, if I cannot transform this samsara into nirvana, and then I wish everybody's mind I would use power to everybody's mind transform into bodhichitta. Okay, thank you. And then I will listen from your questions, or not always questions. If you have some, share your experience and anything about Dharma. Thank you. Yes.
In the last session, you were talking about when you were talking about the realms, and I was thinking about that, and it occurred to me. I mean, I understand why you'd want to get out of the hell realms, but when you get to the upper realms, the semi-god and the god realms, why wouldn't you use the abilities that you've accumulated to further your Dharma practice? It seems like the God realms and the semi-God realms would be further along than I am anyway in my human being practice. I mean, I know that the human realm is the only one that you can get enlightened from.
Mm-hmm.
But why wouldn't they use whatever merit that they've accumulated to further their practice while they were in those upper realms, rather than acting jealous or, all these other things that are going to drag them back down to the other hell realms again? You know what I'm trying to ask?
You mean the demigods, gods, and the god beings of God's realms? Why they don't practice?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It seems like they would have more Dharma ability, and be further along than I am anyway. So why, from where I am, it just seems like, why wouldn't they do that?
Oh, yes. The reason is they have a temporary happiness. Even though demigod realm, they have temporary happiness. And in God realm, the being of God's realm, they have a lot of happiness. But the problem is they spend their life for temporary happiness. For instance, if I am not sick, I have no problems, I'm like kind of a healthy health and wealth, healthy and wealthy, and at that time probably is quite hard to arise the renunciation, the realization of renunciation in samsara. Similarly, they don't have interest in to practice dharma because they're distracted by their temporary happiness, and then when they have some problems, then their wisdom mislead. For example, demigods, when they have problems, their problems, main problems occurred by jealousy, occurs from jealousy. That's where then they have only one intention, that is they are going to fight with gods. They don't think, oh, I'm going to reduce my jealousy, I'm going to be patient, I'm going to practice it instead of harmful actions and something like that. So their wisdom has a very small capacities. So their wisdom lead different path. For example, if I have some problems, and then there are different paths, but I think, to take some alcohol, drink alcohol is better to forget my suffering, or I take some drug or something, this is better. Just I think like that, then I use them, and then I will become unhealthy. But if my wisdom helps well, I mean, if I have a quite like a clear wisdom and a vast wisdom, then I think, oh, if I use these like alcohols or some drugs to remove my suffering, it will help me temporarily, but later they will become cause of another problems. That's where then I'm looking, oh, Dharma is better. And then I come into the Dharma practice and how to practice, oh, meditate, shamatha, vipassana, and other practices. And then I look at the result of them. Oh, then this result is in this life can be happy life, and also the benefit of this practice will lead in Pure Land or will lead Buddha's stage. So that means wisdom has big difference. This wisdom's union with the good karma, then we can see many spiritual paths. If our wisdom union with some kind of ignorance, then they mislead us. Are you clear?
So you're saying that they have a smaller capacity for wisdom than we as humans do.
Yeah, they have less Dharma wisdom. The Dharma, right now I think Dharma wisdom is better. So they have less Dharma wisdom. Dharma wisdom is they would like to have happiness. They already have little happiness, but then they look forward how to get this happiness or how to improve, and then they see very small things, but they think this is important. For example, I think I will studying English each and every day, or I will just be relaxed. Then my mind tells me probably you be relaxed. Then I just stay today, tomorrow, week, months, and then finally I can't speak any second language. But then my wisdom says, oh, you should learn second language, because through second language you can benefit to many your friends or many other people or other lives. Then sometimes when learning second language is not easy. Sometimes there is some challenges. Challenges means it's difficult because I easily forget or something like that, but still do efforts. And then there are mutual benefit. So anyhow, our human being, not all human being, if we have this who has a precious human life, they have a special wisdom. So then they start to utilize this wisdom. They see very wonderful. They see wonderful job, for example. That is all practice Dharma or Dharma for the sake of all mother sentient beings. And then they do it, and then finally they become Buddha. So this is, we have example. Shakyamuni Buddha, his friend said that, oh, Shakyamuni Buddha, first you and me same, equal. But then I worked by myself, you worked for others. So right now you become Buddha, I am still in the samsara. So like that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You are welcome. Very good question. Thank you. Okay, next. Yes, Jay. Mm-hmm.
So, Khenpo, is there a difference between pleasure and happiness?
Yes. pleasure, yeah, perhaps that this is my understanding. The happiness, sometimes they are same, sometimes different. So that sometimes different mean there are differences. That is how percept. For example, right now I'm talking about happiness is good karma and the good fruitions. So that the happiness is combined with bodhichitta. This happiness could be happy and joy, even though in my body has many insects or many lives. They also can be relaxed. This happiness combined with bodhichitta. And then pleasure is probably, for example, I think it's very possible if I eat some delicious food, I feel pleasure. But some part of my life of some lives in my body, they are not accept. For example, if I have diabetes and I eat a rice, if I like a rice, I eat a lot of rice, and then some part of my insect or something, the lives in my body, they not accept. But there are some special thinking. This is in the higher school, like a philosophical, they also debate, even though masters, they debate for a long time. They say the happiness, great happiness is a feeling or not. They discuss like right now we are doing. They discussed. Someone said, oh, this is a real feeling. But then someone said, this is not real feeling. But they say, this is in the higher Zopa Chimbo and Mahamudra practice. At that time, we have some feeling, that's not feeling, we have some special happiness. That happiness is clear, lucid, emptiness, but still joy, happy. So this happiness is, we don't use permanent, but this happiness is unchangeable happiness. And this happiness provide everywhere. That's why if I went to the jail, still I'm happy. Its environment doesn't matter. If I stay in the center of mandala, still I'm happy. So that means wherever I go, I'm 24/7 happy. So this happiness is not feeling. The feeling of happiness are still impermanence. So, but this part is we have to learn and we have to experience. But just by the way, I talk about that. Okay, thank you. Next. Yes. You are, I can see your name. Oh, Tisha. You raise your hand.
Hello. Thank you, Khenpo. My question is there a white Tara sadhana that we can do every day before we receive the empowerment later on? I know next month we'll have that. I received the green Tara empowerment, but I didn't receive one yet for white Tara. And I'd like to practice white Tara every day for the next month if I could. Is there a sadhana you can give us, or?
Oh, white Tara sadhana?
Yeah.
You
like
mean
something that's very short to do every day. You know, I can't do the whole long one that we do on the weekend.
All right.
But something short to do in the day.
Yeah, I think soon. I think as we know, soon Rinpoche will give this empowerment. Perhaps he will recommend something for us, the short sadhana. And I think we'll see. But this right now, our Tara sadhana, this is a pretty short one, shorter sadhana. We have here sadhana, probably you know that. And then these inside has 21 taras, and still there are many, particularly wet taras supplication, and there are 7 supplications. Among them, you can, you can escape some part. So probably next time I will help you to how to use that part. Okay.
Okay.
Is that your question?
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, nice.
What I'll do until you come back next week, I'll just do my regular sadhana, and I normally will do the mantra, and do the 7 verses, maybe.
Oh, yes, you do the 7 verses, especially recent. Actually, Rinpoche often people ask more moments with mala. They do some, and then Rinpoche often say should do Tara practice. And recently, particularly Rinpoche mentioned the 7 lengths, 7 how to say that this Tara Lord Jigten Sunggun's Tara supplication.
Yes.
That you know that, right? Yeah, that's wonderful. Especially when you recite that, you recite with mini. It's really help. This benefit is really so fast. I mean, it's inside has meditation, inside has supplication, and inside has the cause of erasing the compassion. So it's really wonderful.
Wonderful. Great.
Thank you. Okay, next. Yes, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Khenpo Tenzin. I was just, I was thinking I have a few questions, but I don't know if you would prefer for me to ask a question that's related to the teachings that you just gave recently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you, in those teachings, you had emphasized the importance of dedicating properly to the hungry ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the dedication that we have at Garchin Institute that you have on by the garbage cans. And the Om Asita Benza Akshobhya Soha. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I was wondering how, so you said the most important thing is to have bodhichitta, compassion for them.
Mm-hmm.
So is there any particular advice you would give for those of us who want to do that every time we throw food away in the garbage?
Yes. Okay. First, I have self-grasping. That's why I forget this part. If I cannot answer, or if my answer is not clear, please you repeat your question. Okay. And so this Ujuta, this right now you mentioned this Unsindamita Ashubhi Soha. So this part is for dedication mantra, especially like a dedication, or this is also generous, right? Generous. So the compassion is. Let us know this. Every morning we wake up, if we generate compassion, bodhichitta, in the whole day, our mind comes towards Dharma. This is very important. It's like if you are in the car, big car, like a truck, and then if you are in this truck or the car, then wherever this car goes, you will go there. Whether your face is different directions, but you have to go there. Similarly, in the morning we arise compassion, bodhichitta, then whole days our mind is not 100% clearly bodhichitta, but it is related compassion to bodhichitta because of the power of bodhichitta and compassion. And then particularly when after you eat your lunch or dinner, and you just arise compassion momentarily arise. So the most of time we forget it. That's why we should be mindful on this. And then whether we recite this part or not, but just we dedicate. We think, if I say this, hungry lives of hungry, the beings of hungry or hungry beings, they are always with us. In Tibetan called Pulun Linchak Dabo. That means they always wish, especially I think that they're waiting us for Dharma practitioners or the religious practitioners, because they give something. If we give something to, in India has that, in Tibetans also have, sometimes we give something food to monkeys when we go to the circumambulation around the temple and we see some monkeys, we feed them one day and then they are a little bit spoiled and then they try to get something next. So similarly, hungry ghosts always look us and they search. Just recently I mentioned, shared some story, right? Some hungries for 12 years, only they're looking some food and drink, nothing else. So that's why we have to image. They are invisible, we cannot see. Someone see, but most of us, we can't see. But for sure, they are everywhere. So that's why we have to trust there. We have to trust. For sure, there are some hungry ghost or something. That's where then compassionately share them. Is clear?
Yes, thank you, Khenpo Tenzin.
Thank you. And you say you have a few questions, right?
Yes, I have another question that's not related to your teachings from the other day, but can you illuminate for us the connection between devotion, guru devotion, and the realization of emptiness?
Oh, yes, the first guru devotion, right? Devotion of a guru, or so. This is actually comes traditionally, but this is every the situations related to this. I make some examples. When we go to school, like a university or even the small kindergarten or something, we go to school. For example, I say, oh, I'm going to school to learn by myself. I don't say that, right? I'm going to school learning something from teachers. So teachers, they learned many knowledges, but they cannot share their knowledges by hand to hand. I mean, hand by hand, and we cannot steal their knowledges from their brain or something, but only they teach and we learn. Then we can take all of their knowledge. Similarly, these gurus, like Buddha is like a big, like a water tank, right? Tank, big water tank. And then these lineages gurus are like a, what is called a pep, yeah. And then your root guru is like someone who turned this water, and then ask water, you hold the bowl and you put like that, and your guru turn that, and then you receive water, then you can drink or wash face or whatever you do. Similarly, without a guru, we cannot get that water. I mean, this is example, right? So guru is a very, very important. And then from this guru, how to we devote them is we have to know only guru's devotion liberate from samsara. Everything's depend, all the practices are related guru's devotion. So guru has the power or these abilities, potentialities or something, but then these gurus blessing not receive in our body, it's not receive in our mind, but it is receive only in our devotion. Then this devotion is arise in our mind. And then guru means not that physical person. Guru means embodiment of Buddha, Dharmakaya. We say Vajradhara. So guru is embodiment of Vajradhara. In Dzogpa Chimbo, where we say Kunduzambo, Samhita Badara, Mahamudara, we say Vajradhara. So guru is embodiment of the Vajradhara. And then our devotion and guru's mind is non-duality. It's like a water pouring into water. For reason of their non-duality, that's why you can bring guru's qualities in your mind. Guru can share all these blessings to you, because your devotion and guru's mind are non-duality. The emptiness has different levels, but the highest emptiness is non-duality. So that's why we cannot receive guru's blessings from it's well received only in devotion. That's why then we think in the Kagyu lineages, for example, Marpa's devotion to the Naropa, Naropa's devotion to Telopa. How much we read about that, then we figure out, it's really, for that reasons, Naropa become like a sun, like the sun. And then Marpa's devotion to Naropa, for that reasons, Marpa became embodiment of Naropa. And then Malarepa's devotion to Marpa it's really speechless. It's really, even though people read this book, people can cry. Why? Because it shows something. It tells it is Malarepa's devotion. So Malarepa become enlightenment because of his devotion. And then Gambopa's devotion to Malarepa, and Pamotopa's devotion to the Gambopa. And then we thinking about these lineages, gurus. So there are many stories about them, but finally the Milarepa brings all of Marpa, not only Marpa, even though Naropas, Telopas, all the qualities Milarepa took because of his devotion, something like that. So finally they are non-duality. So now your mind and our mind is the same, really. First time we heard that we have no particularly feeling, but think more, meditate on there, it's different mind. So that's what true. Still our mind is same. That at that time we cannot say non-duality. Our minds are same. But then in ultimate truth, then our mind is non-dual. Minds are non-duality. No one, no two, it is non-duality. So emptiness means that. Tibetan called Tuyi Irmi the Seva. Irmi the Seva. We have to do that. If we be mindful, when we help to Guru, even though help to wear shoes, always try to make non-dual Guru's mind and your mind. When you help to open the door of Guru, you make first your efforts. Guru's mind and my mind is same. You make it, and then slowly, slowly, your realization arises. Then it's spontaneously it will do. So no need to do efforts. And then Guru's realizations of the qualities will spontaneously receive in your mind. Okay, thank you very much. Very nice question. And next. Yes, Elinor.
This is more of a procedure question, and I can see both sides of this. So anything that you can say on this would be helpful. I don't know how to solve this. You know, the prayers. I'm retired now, and I'm 73, so I have time, you know, and I love the prayers and everything, and yet I know sometimes I go to class or meditation sessions, and the Lama, for whatever reason, you know, is in a rush and he's got other responsibilities. And so we'll do a short version of the prayer. And when I was working, a short version, you know, because you don't have the time. And so I understand how the short version, okay, I got the prayer in. But my question is, you know, that's fine, but it's a whole different experience to have the time and be able to roll around in the prayer, you know, the feeling of it. And I find myself, whenever I'm doing short version, for whatever reason, it makes me angry. And I don't know what to do with the anger, because if it wasn't in a time crunch, it wouldn't be the short version. But, you know, I don't know what to do with that. How does one make peace with that, I guess the question is, because it's much more I don't know what the right word would be, but I long for that feeling that you get in the prayers, you know, and there's not enough time in the short version to do that, you know. So how do you juggle that? How do you make that work?
So you are angry with the
how do you balance those two things, I guess is the question. You know what I mean? When you're doing the short version because of a time constraint and it's just frustrating, versus when you have the time to do it.
Oh.
You know, how do you
Yes.
balance that. I mean, without getting frustrated, because the only thing you can do is the short version.
Yes, that I think that when you recite short version or longer version, if your mind is inside, for instance, that the first you understanding when you recite that, for example, you recite one stanza, you read with your mind. That means you should try to understand the meanings. You focus on there, and when you understanding, then don't be satisfied only this way. You try to dissolve in your mind. That means you are practice. Inside says the arise compassion, and you try to generate your compassion. And inside says some kind of be patient, and you try to be patient. And then this will help you. And sometimes it's not only not happened that only with you. Sometimes when I was in monasteries, some Chan masters recite a very long and slow. Then me too, I frustrated or angry, angry. That then the problem is I don't understand the meaning of this. If I understand the meaning, first understand, second I be mindful inside of that meaning, and then it's like a delicious food. When we eat some delicious food, then we have some maybe we block many perceptions, other perceptions. Only we can focus, oh, this is delicious, we can eat, we can remain our mind there. Similarly, when you understand and be mindful, and then you recite them, it will, then the prayers has like a, how to say, it's a delicious food. But then, in the other way, if I try to answer, say that, it's okay, that happened. Right now, you know that. That's very important. This is your first step to remove this problem. So that if you recite short prayer when you have time, and then this is uncomfortable. And when you don't have time, you have received longer one, it's uncomfortable. So whenever you start to recite them, you should remember by yourself, oh, I happened like that. That's where I'm going to be patient. So that means you have opportunity to be patient. The practice of patience.
Okay, it's not the long ones that bother me, it's the short ones. Okay, patience for short ones.
Oh, you're welcome. If short one, some too short for you, after read, actually this is also another way of practice, way of good practice. For example, we have a preliminary practice. In this preliminary practice, we have 4 thoughts. Each thought has only one stanza, so only 4 sentences. So seems it's very too short, but best is after recite these 4 sentences, and then close eyes and meditate for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something, and then start next. So that's why it will make longer your time. If you need more shorter, then you read a little fastly, and then like that. But maybe if you read too fast, then maybe it's quite hard to be mindful. but you check.
All right, so turn the anger into compassion and patience.
Yes. Then
Okay.
slowly you think, oh, thank you, shorter sadhanas, because you help me to promote my tolerance. If that is a long prayer sadhana, then you think, oh, thank you, long sadhana. You are really Buddha's embodiment because you help me to improve my tolerance. So that is a
Yeah, no, the longer ones are okay because it takes me so long for the creation and the dissolution, all that it takes, I'm not good at it yet, and it takes me a long time. Mm-hmm. So when it happens real quick, I can't do it because it's not enough time for me or for my mind anyway, to create what I'm trying to create. So
okay, one thing, whether you do longer or short, sometimes you have no time to do exactly what says inside of sadhana. You just arise compassion or bodhichitta, one of them, and then you read.
Okay, that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. Okay, next. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
And so in the teaching that you did Tuesday, one of the things that you were talking about is, well, it was anger, but it was in the context of everything else. And you were going through the different conditions that come from different afflictive emotions. And one of the things that you said was that with anger, it builds up the bile, and then somebody has a heart attack. Oh. And then you went totally off script. You went off of what of what your paper was in front of you, the paper, and you said that this is not meant to for other people. This is just strictly meant for oneself. Mm-hmm. And that just like hit me right between the eyes. Because it was like a little gem of truth that none of this, it relates to anybody else. And so I just wanted to thank you for that, because it's one of those things where I've been keeping it in my mind, and I shared it with someone else today, and it was very profound. So I thank you so much for that.
Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you for sharing that and sometimes some afflictive emotion bothered a lot. For example, often these, for example, angry emotion bothered us, and also we dislike that. So this is also the part of angry or unhappiness because of angry. Angry makes angry, something like that. So if we have this situation, we don't try to conquer this angry emotion logically, and we just use that the object of meditation. Just watch. It's like we watch the film or something like that. Just look at angry emotion, how it does. Let's see, right? What it does. For example, angry emotion. If we really can catch skillfully angry emotion, then angry emotion is very good object of meditation, because Anger emotion is a very strong and sensitive feeling. That's why it catch our attention, gathering very strongly, like our socks in the grass. So then few days or few weeks, it's depend with the experience, and then if we are we are winner from this. If we victory maybe victorious from this situation, then I think this calm down or relaxing is much better than the usually we are meditating with the in the try to be relaxed. I mean, it's similarly if I'm a headache very strongly and I take one pill of medicine, if this headache feeling gone, and then I'm very relaxed at that moment. Right now I'm not headache. My head, I have not that problem. So I have even though I forget my head, so I have no feeling, right? But if I have that headache and then I take some medicine and it recovered, at that moment it's kind of spiritually relaxed. Similarly, so when we meditate on the anger emotion, then this is a good object of mindfulness or shamatha practice too. Okay, thank you. Lydia, did you raise your hand? Lydia, yeah. Did you? Oh, thank you. And next. Yes. Trisha, right? Trisha.
Hi, another question that I have. I was wondering, during the retreats, as well as during this question and answer in the course that we're doing, I was wondering if there's a way for us to connect with each other after we, when we're not here in the Zoom room. Because sometimes we want to ask questions or make friendships or stuff. I don't know. It seems like a nice thing to do, like a sangha to grow all over the world, because we're attending the teachings, but then we don't connect with each other afterward.
Oh, you mean the individual connection, right?
Yeah, I was wondering if we could think of some way for us to connect for those people who want to, not that they have to, but it's sometimes nice to connect after a teaching and talk about it, or if you go through something you want to share with somebody, stuff like that. Anyway, I've thought about it many times after the retreats.
Through something, phones and emails and so on, right?
Well, yeah, I thought it could probably be like an email list, maybe, but it has to be safe because we don't want to have spam. People aren't connecting on Facebook. And a lot of people aren't on Facebook. So, and other times and other courses that I've done, sometimes we'll send out an email and say, if you want to be on the list, then send your email to us. And then, and then we share one another's emails, but only the ones who want to do it. Nobody has to do it. I thought Rinpoche might like it if we connected outside the time too. I think we go to his teaching and then we all spread out and we don't say anything to each other. And I thought he might like that for us.
Yeah, absolutely. From my side, I I would like to the answers any questions or in regularly Dharma talk, and sometimes I'll be being late. I mean, if you send me some email today, probably I answered 2 days later or 3 days later it happened. So at that time probably that is also the cause of being patient. So otherwise, of course, I would like to offer answers if I know, but if I don't know, then still my answer is I'm sorry, I don't know about that. Otherwise, of course, and right now, I will give my email address in office, so then everybody who needs you can bring, and also you can use Gachim Buddhist Institute email. When you have any individual questions, you send through this way, and they also send office send me, and so there are choice. So whatever comfortable. So anyhow, I will give my email address. Okay.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was actually meaning like for not to bother you because you're very busy, but for us, all of the participants to connect. You know, that's what I was meaning.
Oh yeah, I'm a little busy, but this is same, right? That for busy for Dharma is good. Good busy. So question offer answers to the questions. This is also Dharma practice. It's nice. Sorry. Oh, themselves. Oh, I see. Oh, that's absolutely that. If you have to talk, that actually I already tried to say, maybe it not clear or something. That I like that too. You can talk that. Okay, and then any questions? Yes.
Two, but whatever. We don't have to do two. Okay. Here's the easier one. What can I visualize to see all appearances as the mandala or pure realm? Because, of course, we can visualize the mandala, but there's just so many shapes.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So many different shapes. And so it's just, I don't know. You just try to visualize everything as the mandala, I guess, right? But I don't know. Do you have any specific advice to make it easier or something?
Yes. Oh, this is if you go one by one, first you visualize like my sunglass, and then pure line. You visualize this is the pure line, and then you come here. This is pretty hard. You're right. It's your mind goes step by step. This is pretty hard, but you. For example, in Vajrasattva's practice, I will teach that later, but a few days later. But actually, you have some way to clean your thoughts, right? Right after any kind of appears in your mind, when you close your eyes, if you appears anything. And then first you effort to transform that like a Vajrasattva's body or a Vajrasattva's Pure Land. You transform that, your efforts. And then, so that is the best way.
In your mind.
Yes, you transform them. And then usually we say there are 3 responsibilities. So what you see, these are the form of Yidam deities, and what you hear are mantras. So for example, right now I say something, you cannot hear it like Om Mani Padme Hum or something like that. But then you again pay attention. It's like a tam tam or hong hong or something like that. Single syllable mantras, okay. And then anything the thoughts arise, you should realize that is emptiness. So in these 3 activities are related to your mindfulness. So you always be mindful where any kind of object appears in your mind, and you transform that. So if you transform Yidam deities, it's okay if you cannot transform them Pure Land. That's no problem. You don't want to make Pure Land them. If you can't appear like a Yidam deity, you can't appear the Pure Land, still you try to appear like a what is called the syllables, like a hong. Yeah. I often say, even though we watch at the clouds in the sky, suddenly we watch at the clouds. How about weather? That's what we expect, right? Or today weather is nice, today's weather is not good, something like that. But we just focus on the shape of a cloud. Oh, this is like a hong syllable. This is like a Tara. This is Tara's flower or something like that, right? And they help a lot. We have only single mind. That's where it progress. And then if we cannot transform into Pure Land and any of what I said, we cannot do it. But we try to focus on the very good, what is called the qualities. This is like a, if you focus on weather, today's weather is hot, you don't bring this, oh, today's weather is hot in your mind. Best is you think it's good. You bring part of good weather has, hot weather has a little benefit, right? You focus on that. If there's some rain or something, and then also, oh, today is so much rain, it wet my clothes or something, there are lots of muddy. If you focus there, then this is a negative perception. If you focus on the, today we get rain, so it blaze into the ground, trees, plants, something like that, and then your mind is more in the, how to say, positive.
Yeah, positive.
Yeah, then slowly, this is like a sun drawn, or what's called. Before sunrise, there's something. Yeah, sun down, right? In the morning, like that. Then slowly your progress, your mind. And then one time you can immediately do that. And also another method is, that is actually, you are right, it's not easy to transform that. That's where before you focus on performance, you don't focus often on this object. You bring a Pure Land tanka or picture, even though you put in your phone. So that's where you watch it. In Tibet, when we learn meditation first, we learn what it is. We have to put tanka on the wall, and you sit there, and not too higher and not too low, and then you watch it, the tanka. And then first you cannot meditate but you just play your mind with Tanka. Oh, the next is the ocean, then there is like a tree, there has this branch, and then there is like this Yidam deity, this Yidam deity is like this Yidam deity is like those, and you do more, and then your mind and eyes are like a camera, so it's take picture. Then this picture you should save in your mind. Your mind means your mindfulness. Best, you cannot delete if you save in your mindfulness. If you save it in your mind, easily delete it because forget. Forget is like a delete, right? So you keep in your mindfulness, and then wherever you come, even though you eat food, and suddenly remember that part. And then slowly this remembering remains longer.
Okay, so yeah, that really helps with the transforming things in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this is much more advanced perhaps, but what about physical, like appearances though? Is there an easier way to deal with appearances? Like, physical things?
Yes.
How to make them a mandala or something, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What about those physical things?
Yes. That's why in the Tanka has a pure line and very nice, good things. Mm-hmm. But here it's lots of bizarre and something like that. That is dualistic thinking. Mm-hmm. So first, we all have this dualistic thinking. So we have to notice the faults of dualistic thinking. Dualistic thinking has this good, this bad, like that. That's why, in Tanka, when I look at Tanka as beautiful, pure line, but then I look in the ground in this object, then I cannot appear. This appears then in my mind, not nicely. And then you should think, this is my mind. My mind don't know them. If my mind knows them, they are pure light. So that's you create a little bit, you make it from your mind to your mind. You try to transform.
Well, like anything, right?
Yeah, anything.
Like this or anything.
Yes, but the reality is this is a pure line, right? The Tanka is actually delusion. Picture. For example, we see Shakyamuni Buddha stay under the tree. We go to Buddha Gaya and look at the tree. We see just normal. But we see in the Tanka pictures of Buddha under the tree, we see different things. That's where our mind is like that. It's a little funny. But Buddha stay there. Wherever Buddha sits, that is pure light. So that's where everything's depending mind. We go to, you already have experience. When you went to the holy place, you have, this is holy place, it's important. If you see lots of the piece of glass or lots of garbage, you don't care because this is a holy place. If you come some nice place, but you see there's no some trash things, no garbages, but you did not label the holy place. That's where you have not that much interest. That's where, 100%, this is my mind. So wherever I go, holy place, you think.
So that's good. So it's almost more about the feeling and the positivity than trying to convert something to a visually. It's not really about that as much as the feeling.
Absolutely. Okay. This is very big deal. Big deal, right?
Okay, good. Yeah.
Even we spend with friends, everybody has part of faults and part of qualities. If we focus part of faults, then this is getting stronger. Then that's our friend is from center of crown to the feet. Everything become false.
Yeah.
Even the calf, then we are unhappy. They have no freedom, right? That's where they calf. Then we are unhappy. So everything's made by.
All right, cool. That helps me a lot. Thank you so much.
So welcome. Thank you. Yes. Anyone? A Goli.
Hi, Khenpo. I've been wondering what the difference is between chuni and choying.
Mm-hmm. Oh, chuni and chuyen.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes, chuni is usually we said chuni means essence of all the objects. So this essence is, for example, the essence of a fire is burning, not like that.
Oh.
The essence of fire is empty. When we say chuni, at that time directly we have to come this way, or emptiness. But the chuyen is usually we say the like pure land. Pure land means like this space. That part we called chuyen. In this, if we make it separate, chuni and chuyen, right? And then we come, but the reality, chuni and chuyen is same. They are same. For example, we say the as chuni of semni, right? Semni, sem means mind, ni means the essence of mind. So the essence of mind is Buddha. Essence of mind is bliss. Essence of mind is lucidity, and essence of mind is primordial wisdom. And then the Dharma Dhatu. So Dharma Dhatu, Chuyen means Dharma Dhatu, Chuni means Dharma Kaya actually. So that's where if we make Dharma Dhatu is a place of Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya. Where is Dharmakaya? In Dharma Dhatu. And then at that moment we percept or we think, oh, Dharma Dhatu is like a land of Dharmakaya. But then we go little deep or go inside, and then Dharma Dhatu and the Dharmakaya are non-duality. They are not different. So
thank you, Khenpo.
Oh, you are so welcome. Okay. Yes. Anyone? Yes. Lida?
Yes. I would like to ask you if it is possible for you, and if it is not difficult, to teach us about meditate on bodhichitta, relative bodhichitta, and absolute bodhichitta. Would you like to teach us that meditation?
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, right? It's now?
If you can now. I don't know which one is more easy for you, relative or absolute.
The relative and absolute bodhicitta, right?
Relative or absolute, yes.
Yes, in Shanti Deva, he said, bodhicitta, even though this is in the relative truth, the bodhicitta has two. So first is, if I try to translate it directly, first you willing to go somewhere. So before you walk in your mind, you would like to walk, right? Similarly, you would like to help Before you help through your body, speech, and mind, you would like to help. This is the first. This is the first bodhichitta. To help, in this way, or you think, may they being happy, something like that. All your good aspirations are the first step of your bodhicitta practice. And then you second is, then you do it through your body, speech, or mind. That is like you are working on the road. So this is we call actually these both are relative bodhicitta. And then okay, then and these for instance, when you arise this relative bodhicitta, you have to think, these sentient beings are my friends. How? Because they are helping me to dharma practice or some these ways. But then if you can think, they are like dharma friends, I mean. And then if your mind is little improve, the mind of love or bodhicitta improve, you should think, these all beings are my mother. Because right now I have a mother. In this life, I have a mother. But for sure, I took many lives in my previous lives. So that's why sometimes I took life. Sometimes I I was the like a holy person, life of a holy person. Sometimes normal, sometimes monastics, sometimes like a different practitioners, way of practitioners. I was being in many lives. So always it's depending mother. Without mother, we cannot rebirth in this samsara. And then it's like sometimes we become our mother's mother, sometimes our mother become our mother, right? Our mothers. So that's why all thinking beings are my mother. And then second, do you think, right now my mother took care of me? For example, she took me in her womb for over the 9 months, and then she gave me birth. At that time, cannot give birth enjoyably, right? Even though it's not comfortable and it's really part of suffering. So, but after she gave birth us, and then she took care. We did not pay any single dollar, but they took care of us, and then they gave us milk. Why this milk come from their body? Because that milk comes from their love, power of love. So right now we have this. We are alive, and first we cannot eat food. We say, healthy food is important, but it's dependent on mother's milk. So then slowly they took care of us, and then we think the kindness of our mother. And then we have to notice each and every steps for the sake of happiness. So that's where, then how I can help them? Oh, the best way to help is generate bodhichitta. So that's where may they happy, may they always being happy. This is first. And second is then you help. Then you help, you cannot go each and every homes to give some food and something, but you practice prayer, meditate. It's sometimes we say, if you cannot help, but if you not harm, this is best help. So that's why we have to know that. And then through this way, we practice, and then the ultimate bodhicitta is actually the ultimate bodhicitta is the our mother's mind, and our minds are same. There are no different. Number one is they all mind. They all mind. Number two is they need happiness, we need happiness. So this is reason number two. Reason number three is the mind. They have Buddha nature, we have Buddha nature. This Buddha nature is in their mind, in our mind. And then right now only different is like in this space I make my hand like this, inside has space, right? And then if I open my hand, this space and my inside of space become known same. There's no different. In the ultimate level there are no different. So but we bring this reason, but the main thing is they are, how to say, according to the delusion. Yes, they try to get happiness. They try to have happiness, but they created lots of cause of sufferings. So this is like a paradox, or because of their ignorance. And then we arise compassion, automatically, spontaneously arise compassion. Because they need happiness, but they created cause of sufferings. And then they are suffering. That's why if I not help them, then who help? Even though they cannot help themselves. So we should think over all sentient beings are mother beings, or if you some of them is the father beings. And then if we cannot learn from father being, mother being, dogs beings, we love dogs, or cats beings, or really they are, which one love you? Then we have to think. For example, right now, sometimes I connect to my parents. It's not easy. Sometimes I do. And they say, oh, we are doing well. And that makes me relax my mind. I'm happy. So why? Already I identify she is my mother. He is my father. So that's it has power. Similarly, if we think all sentient beings are our parents, and then no different hair colors or no different physical situation, whoever we see in the hospital, someone in the hospital, they are sick, then automatically arise compassion, bodhicitta, and this we see some kind of homeless people and something, anyhow, not only people, right? Any kind of sentient beings, even though we see some birds and the wild animals, and sometimes we see the ants, they go so fast, and then think, oh, they are seeking happiness. and then we think poor, and then automatically arise bodhichitta. So like that.
Yeah. I was trying to like if you give us an instruction, meditation instruction, like meditation, like right now meditation instruction on bodhichitta, but it was, I mean, I understand everything you said, but I was hoping you gave us some instruction for right now meditation. Like I wanted to meditate.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yes, I understood.
I heard the questions and everything. It helps me a lot, but I also, I hope you know any instructions of meditation on bodhichitta, but it helps a lot your answer.
Oh, you are so welcome. The meditation is actually this meditation on bodhicitta is like that. It's not always remain with one object. But if you need to remain one object, then you should meditate immeasurable love. Immeasurable love. That is how can be immeasurable. You think all mother sentient beings being happy, and may all sentient beings have cause of happiness, which is bodhicitta. So that moment your mind is become like a space, because mother sentient beings are countless. That's where you think all mother sentient beings, and then your mind is your mind becomes boundless, and then you remain there. You remain there, and whenever thoughts start to arise, you acknowledge. Whenever other thoughts arise, you acknowledge that, and again you do the you should meditate all mother sentient beings being happy, and then you remain there. So whenever thoughts arise, you acknowledge and don't let interrupt by these thoughts. That means you should repeat. Thank you. Okay. Next, anyone have? Yeah, for sure. Namdi. Who is Namdi? Namdi. Namdi. Oh yeah.
Hi Khenpo, this is Su Young at GBI, and I just wanted to ask, so many deities, or many yidams have wrathful forms, like Manjushri, Yamantaka, Chenrezig, Mahakala. I was wondering about Tara. Does she have a wrathful form, or is it just like wrathful Tara?
Yes, Tara has a wrathful Tara is a Vajra Yogini. Vajra Yogini is Sambhogakaya of Tara actually, and Tara's Dharmakaya is the Pranjana Parimita, and then Tara is the Nimanakaya of them. So and also this we say this is pretty wrathful, the Parna Shavari. Parna Shavari is 20th of 21 Taras, so that's where she is also wrathful. And then Vajra Yogini, and then there are a lot of her wrathful deities.
Great, cool. Thank you so much.
Oh, you are so welcome. Who would like to
Khenpo?
Uh-huh.
I've heard a lot about the convenience of doing some physical work, physical exercise, yoga or something before meditating because it helps with the channels or something like that. Can you explain that to us, please? Thank you.
You are so welcome. About channel, right? How to process.
Yeah, how does the exercise or doing yoga before meditation helps prepare the body to have the proper mind to meditate better?
Oh, yes.
That relation between the body and the mind and the meditation.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Yes, there's a I think in this way is okay. If you are, for example, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. you are going to start meditation, and then you little bit be careful. You how to say? You prepare food. When you prepare food, you be like a careful. I mean, if you prepared many thick food, it will lead your dullness. And if you drink coffee and something, maybe it will lead your agitations. So that's part of food. And then body part is, and then when you sit on the cushion of meditation, the best is you straight. Actually, it is including the 7 posture of meditation, but the principle is you sit straightly, especially your spine and this your backbone being straight. First a little hurts, but then slowly it's really helpful. And then if you cross the legs like monastics sit on the cushion, actually this is helpful to be mindful. It's support to you being mindfully, and also you can sit on the chair whatever comfortable. And then I think the part of your it's depend with your meditation which subject. For example, if you meditate on shamatha, and then the 7 posture is helpful if your body accept that part, and then but not always necessary them, I mean all of them. And then if you are practice other with like channels and those things, I think the best one is you should meditate focus area of your abdomen. There is one chakra, that area, one chakra. And then sometimes you focus area of your chest. Actually we say heart chakra. But you focus too long area of your heart chakra, then all the energies gathering there. So that's why sometimes it little effect to your physical condition. For that reasons, best way is you focus abdomen. When you focus abdomen, your wind gathering there in elements of your winds. In your body has many winds, they're gathering that area. And then this wind and mind, they're gathering together, they are automatically arise warmness, right? It's a little bit part of heart, warmth. Then this warmth effect to your kinetics, so it will help to healthy kinetics. And then but the one thing is, if you focus area of your abdomen, sometimes you are foggy or dullness, and then you focus area of your eyebrows, between your eyebrows, this area, and this area you focus your guru, you visualize your guru or your yidam, or just syllable white ah or om or something like that. Wherever you focus that area, and then there is also chakra. And then if you remain here, your mind remains here quite longer, and then sometimes it possible more agitations arise, or when agitation, feeling of agitated arise, you acknowledge that, and then you move your focusing the downside of your navel. This part is then in regularly we practice like that, but then you practice particularly on the channels, then there are different methods. Right?
Thank you, Khenpo. And is it good to do yoga, hatha yoga, or qigong or tai chi before meditating?
Yes, actually, all the qigong and yoga practices are very great. I also did, and I like them too. And it is depending. It is not only for reason of yoga and reason of qigong. It is reason of your physical condition. So I already mentioned, even though you drink tea or something, you don't drink tea, them makes also different. It's sometimes a benefit, sometimes non-benefit. So that's where, if you are more already your mind is agitated, and then right before you do yoga, probably you sit on there, probably still your mind is pretty fresh, somewhere good, but it's quite hard to be being in mindfulness. But actually it's good to do them, but the good thing is when you are like a dullness, your mind is in dullness and something, then you do yoga. Even though you meditate, you can't remain in single pointedly, then you stand up, you do little bit yoga peacefully, you do yoga and some qigong, and then you sit down again. It will help. That's why it is depending your physical condition.
Thank you, Khenpo. And please, one more question. When you say the attention in the abdomen, do you mean the second or third chakra, or exactly where the navel is?
Chakra, actually, there are, even though Tibetan Buddhism, they also counting different numbers of chakras, but in the Kagyu lineage, masters, they count only 4 chakras. They say everything 4 chakras and 3 chakras. That's where 4 chakra is like a lotus from different these places. 3 chakras, we all know, so there are different ways the offer. Anyhow, so right now as the abdomen, I did not introduce you exactly the chakras, but I show you the direction of chakras. So if you need to particularly practice on the chakra, then I think it is depending with your visualization yidam deities. like a Chakasamvara and Tara. Even though it's a preliminary practice, there are many also later depending about these chakras. So that's where that time also you will understand some part. Oh, four fingers down. Yes. Oh, thank you. 4 fingers down. Down, right? Below the 4 fingers.
Thank you, Khenpo. Thank you very much.
You are so welcome. Okay. Thank you very much for joining. And I will repeat if my answers are unclear, and also some of Dharma brothers and sisters have good answers, better than my answers. Undoubtedly, please answer and then repeat your questions, and always feel free in the ocean of bodhichitta. Usually we have to understanding, oh, let him give first chance, let her give first chance. This is very good. This is very important in our human society. But during the account of this Dharma discourse, you see in the monastics, especially Gelugpa monastics, people think they are fighting monks. They push. They say, I will do first. They pull, even though they pulls these clothes and what is called the lots of their seams is really horrible. Sorry, but they are really it has great benefit. So that's where you think. Usually we have to understanding others before self, but when you dedicate dharma and help others, then how to say the opposite. Others before how to say others before you. So that's let you meant, and thank you very much. And then now we will dedicate bodhichitta part. Yes. Oh yes. Chancho senjo renpo je ma je panon ji jor je ba nyan ba mi ba ya kone gondon be war jo.
May bodhichitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you very much to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you very much, Khenpo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see everybody. I can't type while Khenpo talks. It's not, for me, it's not allowed. So you won't hear from me until the very end, just FYI. That's how I was taught. So hello, Uno. How are you?
Thank you, GBI.
Well, you too. So good to see. Oh, look. All right. Bye, everybody. I love you all.